And if not for me, do it for her. Right, Piggy? Welcome to Drillers Garage. Today I'm going to continue with the 997 GTS. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the suspension, the rear suspension. Yesterday I was kind of considering whether to do it or not, but I'm going to do it because otherwise when I drop the motor and tranny onto the boxes, I'm going to have both of the rear, all the suspension, all the hubs and everything sticking way out. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. And then I'll see if I get to the motor today or not. I don't know. I'll see. So stay tuned. Like I was saying, I'm going to get that suspension out. So let me show you guys here what's going on. I have to loosen the strut. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the strut from the bottom here. I have to get the toe link out. I need to get the dog bones out. I need to undo the axle. And disconnect the lines, the ABS. This is the reservoir for the shock. So I'll just do, when I disconnect the shock, actually I gotta cut the zip tie here. I gotta get the brake lines undone and get this guy here, this thrust arm, whatever you want to call that, off. And that's it, and the whole thing should come off. I already loosened this nut, not that I necessarily need it. I'm just going to take the nuts, the Allen bolt from the flange there on the transmission, and this whole thing will get removed as a single unit. So let me get working on that. But first I got to have some coffee. So you guys know how I roll. Coffee. Need it, got to have it. That's coming up next before anything else. Also, I got to change into some dirty clothes. Go into my homeless apparel, I guess you could say. So now that I'm in my work clothes, let's see what we got going on. I'm going to start with loosening these guys, number one. Then I'm going to, I gotta see what my plan of attack here is gonna be. I think then I'll do the toe link. And then I will do this guy here, the thrust arm, whatever you want to call that. And then I probably do these guys, or at least loosen them, then undo the shock. Because once I undo the shock, this whole thing is going to want to fall. And then just finish with these two, and that should be it. I don't know, there's not that much to it. So let's get to work. I got this guy out, dog bone out, this is ready to come out, this is ready to come out, this is ready to come out, calipers disconnected, ABS disconnected. So basically drop it on the box here and pull the bolts out. Axle's disconnected, it's ready to go. And here we go, complete assembly, all kinds of goodies. Axle's good. Look at these control arms, brakes, studs, caliper on the studs as well, flexible brake lines, stainless steel braided, dog bones, toe link, ERP. Good stuff here. And driver side also done. I have the complete assembly here, same as the other one. And now I guess, I'll start actually taking it all apart, cleaning up these parts, laying them all out, and everything goes for sale. These are cool, these spacers here for the axle. These are actually 996 part number. These are actually OEM spacers. Kind of cool, never seen that before. This is bent, as you can see. This one right here is bent. And then also there's another one which, don't remember where I put it right now. That's broken from this side. Let me go find it. So this is the thrust arm, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure, caster arm, thrust arm. The end there, I don't know if you can see, looks a little bit buggered up, but the threads are just fine. So there's no problem with this, even though it looks a little bent there. It threads in without any worries, and there's plenty of depth there of threads, so it's all good. Anyway, that end is broken here. If you can see there, it's broken right there. And the other piece that goes to it is this. So you can see the threads are fine that go into that end, but the end piece here broke off, which I guess is kind of good. Listen, if you crash, you always want the weakest links to break first, you know, and that's fine, because in this braking, that dissipates the energy, you know, elsewhere. That takes the grunt of it, whatever other, you know, this, you know, and that stuff is easy to change. It's easy and it's cheap. So I'm going to be calling ERP parts, Elephant Racing, I believe those are, and just buying replacements, and it'll be good as new. So there's both rear steering, not steering, but both rear knuckles, assemblies, whatever you want to call it. And then the shocks I'll get from inside the car. There's the 3 bolts inside the car. I need to get in there with a gun, and they'll just drop right down. So that's where I'm at. Next, I will attack the muffler, get this muffler off of here, get these headers off of here, and just continue on. Also, I got to get these shocks out of here. Yeah, nice tear upper mounts. Yeah, these are nice. You can see the threads here a little buggered up, so I'm gonna turn this collar nut here and see if I can clean those threads up. Anyway, I contacted MCS. They told me that for $245 per corner, they'll basically go through them and check for damage. Ooh, wow, I didn't see that one. Look at that. So they'll check for damage internally and externally. I don't know if that's gonna have that might create an issue. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'll probably send them off and have them rebuilt. I think it's worth the while if I'm going to install them. Next up is the muffler. 3 bolts here, 3 bolts here, 2 straps, and the muffler should come off, I think. And then to take the headers off, I got to take the oxygen sensors off on both sides. And get all these bolts off. Muffler is out. Man, this thing took a good whack. Look at that. Good whack. This side too, I think. Yeah, a little bit. Not as bad as that side though. This one, no. Twist it up. All right. Now comes the headers. This one took a good hit. This one too, but not as bad. I got the headers off, all the exhaust off. I got these cross members here off. I started disconnecting some of the coolant lines. This one here, there's a big one here. I took these 4 nuts off. So the tranny is held down by this mount here. It's got a bolt here and a bolt on the other side. And like I had told you guys before, the idea is just to drop the subframe here, here, and here, and then also obviously in the back of the engine. So you see this one is loose because it's broken here. This one is tight. This one I think is cracked also, and then I'll get the other one with a wrench. What I need to do now is lower the car and start disconnecting everything from underneath the engine lid, the deck lid. But otherwise, I think it's pretty clear. I think I'm almost ready to go ahead and put this down. Almost. I'm gonna take this deck lid off because it keeps wanting to fall down on me. So it's super easy. It's 4 10mm bolts, 2 on each side, and just pull this thing out. I don't know if there's a harness here. I'll just cut it because I don't really care about this deck lid. It's all smashed up anyway. The fan's broken. I don't know. I don't think there's anything good here. So I'll get the strut off and the mounts off, the hinges. And if I can't unplug it, I will just cut it. I got the deck lid off, as you can see. AC lines disconnected, power steering lines disconnected. I got the electrical connectors disconnected. I had to cut this coolant line here because there was no way that guy was coming out. Took that one out. That drained the reservoir from what I could see. Made a mess on the floor here, but that's okay. Now, since those bolts were broken, I was thinking of just backing them out when lowering the motor, but that's going to be problematic because lowering the motor and these things still being in place, this one and this one, because this one's broken too, it's not going to let me lower it, and there's no space there to back that bolt out all the way out like it needs to be. So that's going to complicate matters a little bit. I'll have to see what I do about that. If not, I'll have to try to find a way underneath to get this motor mount free down there somehow. I don't know how that's going to happen, but you can see how it's bent. I mean, look at the gap here and look at the gap there. You can see how it's just, this whole corner is just completely tweaked in. So we'll see. Onward. Almost there though, almost there. So this is what I did. I did bend that little cover. It's just a little cover plate here a little bit, but I was able to get the 55mm Torx up in there and loosen it. So it's now a little bit free, you know what I mean? Not completely, but I'm gonna go grab the boxes, and I gotta move all this stuff out of the way here, lower the car and start unbolting things. And I think I'm gonna be able to get that guy free like that. Yeah, I was thinking, okay, am I gonna cut this thing? Am I gonna give it I can't give it a yank because it's on the lift, so I can't give it a pull. I only like tie it to the back of my truck and just yank the crap out of it, but that's not gonna work. This one I don't have any problem with. This one is perfectly accessible. So let me start bringing the motor down, and maybe I'll be able to get that guy out. Hopefully, I mean, it already came out a little bit. So, you know, again, this is just a cover plate here, and whatever. I mean, okay, it's a little dented, big deal, you know. So, all right, let me go grab the boxes and put them here and get this car down. As you can see, I am thoroughly dirty, but as you can also see, the engine is out. Man, that transmission looks brand new. It's got a date of 2012. Well, look, the cooler has a date of 19. So maybe that I don't know, that transmission looks new to me. Definitely much cleaner than the rest of the engine. You know, even just the way the aluminum is, you know, oxidized, or no, it's oxidized, but you know, just the amount of dirt and grime on it. But again, 2019, but then over here we have 2012, and over here we also have a 2012 date, if you can see it there. But that's it. It is what it is. Now I have to work on getting these harnesses out, because when I sell the transmission, I'll sell it with the computer and everything, and harness, basically ready to plug in, you know, plug and play. At least that's the idea. This is just some sort of a vacuum line. This probably goes to the booster actually in the front. And then I got to see, I still got to pull these shocks out. Man, this thing took a good beating. I didn't see this before, because when it was mounted, I couldn't see that. This one up here I could see. This was rubbing on the dog bone. But I guess when the, what do you call that? The thrust arm or whatever that goes from the chassis, wherever it bolts up to, I guess, I don't know, wherever it is, to the back, broke. This hit the axle, and that's what was keeping the wheel, the entire assembly back here, that's what was keeping it from moving back any further. So all of that stress was right there. So I'm gonna send these out. I did get in touch with MCS. They did confirm that these will fit Red Rocket, so that's gonna be good. But I'm gonna send them in. I wasn't going to, but after I saw this, I think for sure, you know, they charge $245 per shot per corner. to completely go through them, new seals, and basically leave them brand new. Obviously, this is going to cost a little more because they're going to have to replace this part, but otherwise, it'll be good to go. So that's it. Engine is out. Man, that was a lot of work. And I am dirty. So I'm going to clean up here. I'll be right back. That's going to wrap up today's video on the 997 GTS. As you can see, I worked very hard today. I got the engine and transmission out. What else did I do? Oh, I got all the suspension out. I got a pile of parts over here. 3.8 DFI motor. So this little guy here is broken. The motor mount and the whole rear thing kind of crushed it. Nothing else was damaged. Just a little bit of damage to the aluminum there, but nothing that won't seal still. And that looks to me like a vacuum, some sort of a vacuum port or a breather. So I think it's vacuum. And that may have been why the car was idling so rough, because it had a humongous vacuum leak, as you can see. Oh, look at that fella. Whoops. Other than that, we have, like I had shown you before, the broken mounts here, and this one is broken also. But the good thing about this one is that there's no threads where it's broken. So basically, the bolt bent, as you can see, it's bent and snapped this part off, but where the threads are inside of there is actually still okay. So this is probably not even an issue. This can be welded up, and this can be welded up. This piece right here is there, so that's even easier for an aluminum guy to do that. And this, again, an aluminum welder can weld that up without any problem. Other than that, the engine is complete. It was running fine, and it will be for sale. Dave, you know who you are. Here it is. You wanted to see it. Then we have the PDK transmission. Like I said, it looks new. I found, like, for example, right here, there's a 2018 date, but the stickers are all 2012. However, the cooler has a 2019 date. So I really don't know what the story is, but I mean, look at it and look at the engine. It looks like a replacement to me, but oh, look who's here. Ready to go? Anyway, so that's that. I got the the rear suspensions out, like I told you, the axles. I got the coolant tank there. So yeah, it's really almost done. The next time I'm gonna put the car up on these dollies here. I'm gonna screw these to the bottom. I'm gonna put 2 in the back and 1 in the front so I can wheel it around. I need to get it off this lift. It's already been taking up space here for too long. And I wanna get it off of here because I can't use it with this thing here. So next will be the interior, which, as you can see, there's not really much. And up in the front, I think I'm pretty much done up here. There's nothing else to take up here other than if I start nitpicking, ain't nobody got time for that. And that's gonna do it. Almost done. I think one more day with this car and it's done. It's ready to go out to the scrappers or wherever. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but it's ready to go. If anything, I'll put it in the yard next door and just get it out of here and then figure it out. So in the meantime, I appreciate you guys watching. As always, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button. And if not for me, do it for her. Right, Piggy? That's right. There will be another video on this car, and then I need to start doing an inventory of the pile of parts that I took off of this car. There's a lot of individual pieces right now, like that whole, it's one unit, that's the whole unit. But in that unit, there's a bunch of individual parts. So I need to go through that. And until it's all accounted for, post it on eBay or wherever I'm gonna sell it, that's what needs to happen. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay tuned.